I would like to ask the following question, based in your acknowledgement about the interaction of Brazilian people, scientists, and interaction between Brazilian and Americans, specifically the universities. There is one movement from Brazil, and also to become this link between Brazil and the U.S. more, not only U.S. but whole world, more active in this. This is the program that Brazil is the Minister of Science and Technology is putting, that is Science Without Frontier. And I would like to that you give some thinking about this kind of program, and how you think specifically your university, Penn State University, that is outstanding university in the United States in material science. How can your university and universities in Brazil working in material science can use this program, can see this program, how to make the interaction more strong between universities here and the United States, specifically your university?
Well, the international collaboration, I believe, is an extraordinarily important evolution in the entire field of sciences, not only materials, of course. At Penn State, we have a very large international collaboration with many universities. I will say, honestly, not all collaborations are working. And the reason they don't work is because there's not a strong institutional commitment on both sides to know what is the nature of the collaboration. I will, however, use as an example how another country took advantage of such a collaboration to give some ideas of, I think, how to have some success. So I will turn to the program from Turkey. Back in the late 1990s, Turkish government decided to send many young people abroad. We were very fortunate because we knew a number of the Turkish scientists in materials, and so they sent a couple of their young people to our place. Those couple of young people sent the message back, oh, this is a good place for Turkish students to do their graduate studies. So they got Turkish government scholarships, did their PhD work, and now there are many professors in Turkey who have had an experience at Penn State, in most cases got their PhD at Penn State, incredibly strong relationships with those young people today. They are coming to the United States to visit. We are going to Turkey to visit. We are now having exchanges with students as a result. So I think this kind of relationship can work very strongly. I think it's also very important that there are just a couple of point people. Of course, many people say we should work at the very highest levels of the university, you know, president to president. Presidents actually are very busy people. They don't have the time to worry about whether the young people are coming, whether they are being taken care of, whether they are doing good research, whether they are publishing. And so I think these relationships should be down at the level between the leaders of the academic units. Let them decide, you know, how to structure this relationship. In our own department, we have relationships with a number of other universities around the world. I will say mostly they are from Europe, but in those exchanges what we do is we send students to those institutions and they send students to our institutions. Again, this is for our students also to enjoy the culture of the other countries, whether it is Italy or Spain or Germany or even China is one of our partners, a couple of universities in China. And likewise, we are having some young people come to us from their universities. Oftentimes they come for a short time, a half a year, return, but the Penn State faculty stay advising them until they finish their PhDs. And so in those cases, it's been a very nice relationship because we've built some very nice linkages between those universities. And so I think these relationships, I think, are very good, and one has to have a long-term view. These don't turn around, you know, the fact that we didn't do it for the last 20 years. It takes maybe another 7 or 8 years before, now it's very natural, this relationship, and people are going back and forth, and it's, you know, they're good friends, and it's a lot of friendship is behind these relationships. It's not just a memorandum of understanding. The memorandum of understanding is, of course, some kind of initial contract, but it is actually the friendship level that I think is the key component that makes these relationships important.
Ok, o que o professor Gary Messing disse é que a cooperação internacional é extremamente fundamental para o desenvolvimento da ciência no mundo e também para que ocorra, né, uma disseminação do conhecimento da forma, a disseminação da cultura, conhecimento e cultura dos diferentes povos. A cooperação, ele citou a cooperação entre Penn State com do governo turco, que resolveu criar um programa, mandar as pessoas jovens do país para fazer pós-graduação no exterior, principalmente a Penn State foi uma das universidades escolhidas, e as pessoas que lá passaram, principalmente no departamento de materiais, tiveram o resultado foi extremamente positivo em abrir digamos, uma cooperação mais duradoura, uma troca mais duradoura entre os professores e esses jovens pesquisadores que se tornaram professores na Turquia. Então essa relação foi extremamente importante para crescer a ciência no país, na Turquia principalmente. Isso se aplica também no Brasil, não? Então é importante esse movimento de Ciências Sem Fronteira aqui no Brasil, é importante e deve ser estendida em todas as nações e em várias universidades americanas.
I remember the last time that you went to Brazil 20 years ago. I did a course with you, and I remember that you give a short course of 1 week, more or less, in the material science department. And after that, long time ago, now it's a huge honor to be here to talk with you 20 years later. I would like that you comment about the evolution of the ceramics, the advanced ceramics, and what you think is the future of ceramics. I think that the ceramics changed a lot from 20 years ago to now, and for us it's quite important to know your opinion about that.
Thank you very much, Professor Leche. I appreciate your very kind words. I too remember that short course. It was very interesting. I had to work very hard because Professor Varela made me lecture every single day that I was here. It was very, very difficult, but nevertheless. Well, you know, the field of ceramics, of technical ceramics, continues to evolve. It continues to amaze me, to be honest with you. Every couple of years we look at, where is the field, where is it going, and you say, oh, well, we're doing the same thing year after year and nothing's happening. But it's incredible over the last 5 years. The field has changed dramatically. And the thing that has changed so dramatically is that energy has become such a central focus of the world in terms of new energy systems, whether we are trying to capture energy and convert it in electricity or heat, trying to convert it to electricity, or whether we're trying to store electricity. These concepts have been around for decades, but only in the last 5 years has the world taken note of the fact that it has to do things a little bit differently. that we are running out of petrochemicals, that it's better to have clean energy sources, that we need to take advantage of all ways of handling the energy portfolio. And so, you know, the world of solid oxide fuel cells, the world of thermoelectrics, the world of energy storage systems, these fields have all of a sudden blossomed. Why is that important for ceramics? Because the core materials used in a vast array of these applications are ceramic materials. So maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago, you were working on maybe some electronic ceramic application. 4 years later, now you are working about, well, how do I change the properties so that I can make a more effective solid oxide fuel cell? Or how can I make that material into a new sensing device that I can use to control a system to make it more efficient? So this has been an incredible change. And the other change that came, of course, it's a little bit further back, was the recognition, maybe in a more direct way, that nanoscale has important applications. It's not just that it's a new word, it's actually, if we really get into the nanoscale, that all of a sudden we get some new properties, we get some new processes, we make new materials that we never had before. And of course, taking ceramic materials and making them at the nanoscale, as you well know, has really revolutionized the kind of research that we are doing, the kind of processes that we are using. And so, you know, we've moved way away from kind of the more bulk ceramic approach that we took, and we are far more sophisticated in the processing approaches that we've taken. So the idea that energy is here, that nano is here, the field is just evolving so fast. Even the field of thermoelectric materials, which was dominated by definitely non-metallic systems. Now there are new thermoelectric systems. Interestingly enough, the same kind of materials are coming in, the same kind of compounds and structures. And so now there is a rebirth of interest in thermoelectrics. Wouldn't have imagined this 10 years ago. So it's an exciting time in ceramics. There's lots to be discovered. It's an exciting time to be a young person in this field because the future is so bright.
O professor Gary Messing enfatizou que a cerâmica ainda tem um futuro, vai ter um futuro brilhante por longo tempo, né? Nos últimos 5 anos ou 10 anos, a evolução que teve na parte de energia foi fantástica, né? Hoje a busca por energias alternativas é uma coisa até aí, vamos dizer, um vício dos pessoal de materiais, né? É a busca por materiais que convertam melhor a energia solar em energia elétrica, para estocar energia, né? E células combustíveis, né? Então é um caminho que está fazendo com que a cerâmica ganhe cada vez mais importância. E combinando ainda com a possibilidade de materiais para energia e nanotecnologia, esse campo cada vez se torna mais atrativo, né? Sem dúvida nenhuma, a cerâmica tem um futuro brilhante, né? E mais importante que isso, é um caminho que os jovens têm aquela perspectiva de seguir, que com certeza vai encontrar bastante desafios, né?